What if I told you could get smarter without even trying? No flashcards, no boring textbooks, just some really fun habits that actually work. From learning a new word every day to exploring the world through an atlas, these are habits that don't feel like chores but are actually fun. So let's get straight into it. First up, reading, and I don't mean textbooks or anything that feels like homework, but actually reading fiction. I can testify that I have learned so much from just reading fiction. I once read a book about pirates and I ended up learning so much about sailing which I did not know before. So reading fictional stories about niche topics can teach you so much about it. And reading fiction makes you more empathetic, more imaginative, and even better at understanding people. Your brain is literally being rewired and you're gaining so much information while you're just enjoying a story. And of course, reading has so many other benefits. I mean, it's so good for your brain. So if you haven't picked up a book in a while, start with something you're genuinely curious about. And reading leads us into the next habit, which is learning new words. Next up, word of the day. This one is so simple and I absolutely love it. Every day, write down one new word, learn what it means and how to use it in a sentence. Try to use it at least 3 times a day, even if it's just in your head. And if it needs a unique context, you could literally just make up a scenario where you use the word. Also, writing it down in your journal helps a lot. Over time, your vocabulary expands and you start finding the right words for things you couldn't really express before. I think this next one might actually be my favorite. As someone who's very curious about other cultures and hopes to travel the world one day, this next one is exploring the world through an atlas. This book is huge and it has so much information about the whole world. I look at it to decide which places I want to visit first, but I also use it to learn. I pick one country, I learn its capital, something interesting about it like what language they speak or which currency they use. It doesn't take long, but it slowly builds a picture of the entire world inside your head. There's something really beautiful about knowing where places are. It makes the world feel so much more connected. So on the note of geography, this next one is genuinely so fun. GeoGuessr drops you somewhere random in the world and you have to guess where you are just from visual clues. It teaches you geography, culture, and observation skills without feeling like learning at all. I thought this was in Niger, apparently it was in South Africa, and that was the clue I missed. And then there's writing. It doesn't have to be for anyone and it doesn't have to be perfect. It could be a journal entry, your thoughts at the end of the day, or even just a short story you make up completely from your imagination. I like to write like I'm writing a letter to someone. I like to imagine it's a letter to my younger self, but of course she won't ever be able to read them. But recently I've been really enjoying writing stories. Of course you can write whatever you want and you can also make it look really pretty to really enjoy the process, but what's important is that you just put pen to paper and write something down. For writing stories, I learned that it also has so many benefits. It exercises parts of your brain that you don't normally use because you're building worlds and creating characters and even figuring out how things connect. Your creativity and intelligence are working together at the same time, taking something messy and abstract in your mind and turning it into something coherent on a page. That process is your brain getting stronger every single time you do it. Remember that you don't need to be a good writer for any of this, you just need to have a pen and something to say. Next is chess and Duolingo. Chess and Duolingo are 2 things I keep coming back to. Chess teaches you strategy and patience. It's one of those games that genuinely make your brain work different. I just started learning and Duolingo has been great. Of course you can also learn languages on there, which is amazing. Finally, we have YouTube. So, educational YouTube channels, because not everything on the internet has to rot your brain. Some of my favorite channels are Howtown, TED, Ed, and BBC Earth. They all make very fascinating content about geography, science, history, and culture, things you never knew you were interested in until you stumble across them. They honestly make learning feel like entertainment, and I love these channels so much. This is the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching until this point. Let me know if you would like a part 2 because I still have so much more ideas. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!